Well, we want to welcome you this morning. This is the last Sunday of the church year. And just got to pose a question for us to ponder for a minute. Would you consider yourself to be a patient person? Would you consider yourself to be a patient person? My wife, she tells me that I'm usually really patient with most people, but there are some times when I am impatient. And the truth is, we probably all at one time or another have been guilty of being impatient. I heard this story about an elderly man. His wife has died. The kids had moved away. He was all alone, and one day he thought it would be good for him to get a pet. So he goes down to the pet store, and he asks the clerk, "I'd like to have the most unique pet that you have." The clerk thinks for a moment, and then he says, "You know, I think the most unique pet that we have in the store is the centipede." "A centipede," the guy said. "They got like hundreds of legs, right?" I'll take it, he says. And so the clerk gets the centipede, he puts it in a little matchbox, and the guy takes it home. And later on that day, he's thinking it'd be a good night to go out on the town and have some fun. And I want to take my centipede with me, he thought. So he asked the centipede, he said, "Mr. Centipede, you want to go out on the town with me tonight and have some fun?" Didn't hear a word. He said, "Well, maybe I have to speak louder." So he raises the level of his voice, "Mr. Centipede, you want to go out on the town tonight and have some fun?" Dead silence. So then he thought, well, maybe I better bring him up to my mouth so he can really hear. And so he gets the little box up by his mouth, and again he says, "Mr. Centipede, you want to go out in the town with me tonight and have some fun?" And then very faintly he thought he heard a little squeaky voice. And he said, "What did you say?" And the centipede said, "Yes, I do, but be patient, I'm tying my shoes." I mention that because you see, patience and waiting are closely connected. When we are asked to wait, we have to have patience. Did you hear about the retired pastor who didn't feel that he had a lot of patience, and so he prayed to God for more patience? He said, "Lord, give me patience, and I mean right now." Over the years, I have discovered something about myself when it comes to having patience. I've discovered that there are some things in life that can be rather irritating. And when I look it over, I got a top 10 list too of things that irritate me. And they all have to do with waiting in some shape, way, or form. How many of you don't mind ever waiting for anything? Anybody like that? You don't mind waiting, so here's an anomaly. Oh, there's one in the back, too. Okay, so 2 out of 200 don't, okay, anyway.